guys, what's going on? I'm one short. I am one short today. I don't know where my partner is. So she said she would be here. I have no idea. Hopefully nothing has happened. Hopefully she'll join us later on. I didn't get a text message from her. But that's not going to shy away from the fact that we have the one and only. He's like a big deal. I mean, like a major deal. Sonny Ozuna. Going to be here. Actually, he's here already. So let me go ahead and do the intro and bring in Sonny. Goes like this. Wait, what happened? Hey, bestie.
Hey!
He was here just a second ago.
Oops.
I guess he accidentally got a phone call or something and knocked him off. Sonny, if you can hear us, just try it. Just log back in. Just do the same thing over again. It's going to work. Trust me. So it'll work. But anyway, how are you? Hey, you cut your hair.
I'm good. I cut it and I put some highlights and just a little change, a little fresh up, just
yeah, it looks good.
Yeah.
I like it.
Thank you. I don't know if I like it yet or not. So for everybody who's watching tonight, you guys kind of let me know either thumbs up, thumbs down. Should I keep it? Should I go lighter? Should I go darker? I mean, give me some feedback, guys.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. Bobby Castañeda says, hello, Hilda Indio. How are you doing, Bobby? Thank you so very much.
Hey, Bobby.
Brother. Really do appreciate you joining us this early. Hey, let me see what's going on with Seti. He was having trouble, which is okay.
Yeah, totally cool.
I walked him through it. He connected, but I think it was he got a phone call.
Yeah,
because
maybe it was an important phone call.
Well, he was using his phone, and he was going to use his computer, but he was having trouble with his computer, so I guess he was using his phone. So
cool. Well,
not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all.
Mm-hmm. So let me go ahead and see if I can get a hold of him. Yep, I think that's him. He's back. Uh-oh. Let's see here. There's no video. 3, 2. So what did you do this weekend, by the way, while we wait?
Well, I had a performance on Saturday in Corpus Christi. Juneteenth festival there in Corpus Christi. It was awesome. It was put on by the Tab Fee organization, and it was just lots of fun. One of my little sisters came out with 2 of my nieces, so that's always fun. It's actually quite an experience because it was their very first time. Not my sister; she's seen me on stage plenty of times, but my 2 little nieces, it was their first time seeing me on stage and seeing me in a different environment.
He's here,
so that was kind of neat.
Here's here, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Hilda. We'll come back.
No, you're good. You're good.
It is the one and only. Oh, hey, Sonny, how are you doing, sir? Can you hear us? Can you hear us, Sonny? I can't hear you. I can see you, but I can't hear you. No, we can't hear you, Sonny. Your microphone is turned off. Oh no, your microphone's turned off. Let me try to do this way. This is let's do this real quick. Let me go ahead and play one of this. Oh, there you are.
Wait, there we are.
There you are. How are you doing, Sonny?
There you are. Okay.
Yes.
I'm doing good.
Good. Yeah. Thank you so very much for joining us, man. I appreciate you, brother.
I don't know what I'm doing, but I mean,
Well, you sound good and you look good, so that's half the battle.
That's right. That's half of it right there. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to augment this one real quick. You know what? Let me play a song real quick, Sonny. We'll take care of this real quick. This is a song that you did a while back, and I found this one. This is really some. You know, one of the things that I pride myself in is I always delve into everybody that I interview, and I always look for things. I always, I deep dive into the meta world and try to find whatever it is that I can. Found this video of your performance. This is from like 1983, Sombrero Blanco. It goes like this. Check it out.
Oh yeah.
Ya me voy para la fiesta, mujer. Aquí llevo mi sombrero blanco. Ya me voy para la fiesta, mujer. Aquí llevo mi sombrero blanco. Y yo sé que me miro muy bien cuando llego de lejos llegando. Y me dice de nuevo mi compadre, qué bonito su sombrero blanco. Qué bonito, qué bonito, qué bonito mi sombrero blanco. Qué bonito, qué bonito, qué bonito mi sombrero blanco. Y pasando por la iglesia mayor, en mi burro que es todo mi encanto. Y pasando por la iglesia mayor, en mi burro que es todo mi encanto. Yo sé que un amiguito me vio, que una señora que estaba rezando. Y me dijo de nuevo mi compadre, qué bonito su sombrero blanco. Qué bonito, qué bonito, qué bonito mi sombrero blanco. Qué bonito, qué bonito, qué bonito mi sombrero blanco. Mi sombrero blanco, qué bonito, qué bonito, qué bonito mi sombrero blanco.
Wow. Sorry, I was drinking. Yeah, that was a throwback if I've ever seen one. That was, man, you've done a lot, and you got a performance coming up here next month in Las Vegas.
Yeah, we're actually going to be celebrating Freddie Records' 55th anniversary, his record company being in business, and we're kind of going to be part of that show. It's going to be at the Westgate in Las Vegas, and they're teaming up with an annual event that they have every year called the Las Vegas Tejano Takeover. It's called, and every year they gather a lot of different Tejano artists that go and do that one particular show in Las Vegas. So this year. That project and Freddie's project of his anniversary are teaming up together. So it's going to be a big, big party this year. And they're promoting it a lot bigger than when we did Freddie Records' 50th anniversary. Now, this is 5 years later.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's pretty exciting. Actually, I'm going to be there. So I go every year, and I'm going to be there for this year, and especially, and hopefully we can get together and we can do like a full on and everything else. I don't know if Mark told you this, but I'm actually doing a documentary on the roots of Tejano music, and you come from that era that people don't realize. Before, it wasn't called Tejano music; it was Chicano music. That's where it originated from. It's just the fact that they called it Tejano music because most of the musicians that were playing it were from Texas. It was a movement. It was a movement of Hispanic culture that was prevalent in the United States and mostly in the southern United States. And it was an empowerment of the people, which is really, really awesome. And you were on the cusp of that. You actually crossed a lot of thresholds that many people didn't get to do. A lot of artists to this day don't get to do. I mean, you've performed in a lot of different venues and been on TV that didn't, when most, if not all, Hispanic people didn't get to perform. You were embraced by a lot of people. How did that make you feel when here you are breaking barriers? You're literally somebody that people aspire to be because you did so much.
Let me back up a little bit to answer some of your questions that you were mentioning along the way. What happens is that it didn't have a title as far as is having a title to represent the music because we were young teenagers. We were 18, 19 years old, and we didn't know what we were doing. Right. We had no idea. We were just kind of off the seat of our pants, man. I just taking a shot at, let's try this and let's try that. And no direction whatsoever. And that's why basically it didn't have a title to it. And before Chicano, in the little places that we did get to play, maybe like outside of Texas and things like that, they used to call it Tex-Mex music. So we went through Tex-Mex, and then we went to Chicano because of Little Joe and all those guys doing all that movement in California with agriculture and all that stuff. And then it just kind of came from there as far as the Chicano word came along. They liked it over here because in the state of Texas, because, like I said, it wasn't titled. So they thought, Chicano music sounds good because we didn't really want to let them know, look, we're Latin Americans, but we're not Mexicans per se. We are Tex-Mex, and to be very truthful, they kind of joke about us all the time because we don't know our Spanish fluently at all. We can start talking in Spanish and then de repente comenzamos a hablar en español, and then we can go right back into the conversation in English back again, and they say, what is going on? But as a matter of fact, there was a time when I was doing radio in Houston, and my whole program was based on the idea that I was going in and out of Spanish and English, and that's how it was made. It's never been done over there before.
So, like, what's going on here?
But what was happening is that we were kind of setting, I think, the ground for what is known now as Tex-Mex music. We weren't aware of Little Joe and the Latineers at the time, so once in a while we would get to play what they call Battle of the Bands, and we kind of cut that off pretty quick because if you were having a bad night because you had a sore throat or whatever your deal was for that night, for example, Joe would just kick us all over the ballroom, So and vice versa. So we said, no, this is not going to work. But point I was going to make is that Little Joe doing what he was doing just got a kind of an idea of the fact that we didn't know what we were doing, but we were young enough to try different things. And so he kept trying different things where he was, and we were doing different things that we thought would. We all started, gosh, man, there's a million things to tell you. What happens is we call ourselves a garage band. And we were actually practicing in each other's garages in different houses. until 10 o'clock when the police came and shut us down. And the following week we'd be in somebody else's garage, you know,
Yeah.
and that's how we actually got ourselves started as a garage band and a copy band. We're called copy band because we listened to a lot of radio, whether it be Hispanic radio or what it would be. It was a lot of English because we did a lot of English music too. So when we were trying to put the ground down for what Tejano music was going to be about, it was going to be the fact that as Hispanics, we love all kind of music. Okay, we like salsa, we like jazz, we like Tejano, we like polkas, we like it all. Cumbias, we like salsa, we like it all. And my luck, that helped us quite a bit to take off when we did, as just coming fresh out of high school. I was 19 years old, and I was watching a little bit more television, Dick Clark's American Bandstand, and listened to a little more English radio. And what happened was that, well, as young teenagers, let's record a song. Let's record a song, man, to see what we can do. Maybe we'll get a hit song. We didn't know any better. We didn't know better. But we recorded a song that turned out being the number one song in the nation for 17 weeks. The song was called Talk to Me for Top 40. And that kind of got us a lot of attention out of nowhere, that we were surprised. And our drummer, it suggested, why don't we take the same things that we're playing, because it was a lot of English, and just change the lyrics to Spanish. Oh gosh, no. We were against it. We was just catching on to the English language in school, so we didn't want to do that. No, man, you're talking about learning a whole other language, man. And what we talk at the house is so bad that we don't even want people to hear us, that kind of thing. But that's how it basically came all together for us.
That was that's one of the things is that I think like your music was more the way I understand it, and you know I may be wrong, but in what I've done, because I've interviewed a lot of the legends, the Tejano legends. You know, I think like I'm up, like 17 now, from the players from different bands from the 60s and 70s, and these members, and but in my study, what I've found is a lot of your music was more equated to like the lowrider classic styles, Runaway, Talk to Me, Put Me in Jail, all of these songs that are very classic, and that was very Chicano centered, these very own. Don't smile now, cry later. Oh no, that's the smiley face and the drama faces that everybody had. It's quintessential, like it's like dogma. It's like part of the part of the. It's You cannot be a Chicano and not know smile now, cry later. If you don't, well, you're not authentic. You don't know what a jalapeno is. Then what's wrong with you, man? It's one of those things, and it's interesting. It's interesting to me because of the evolution of where it all comes from. When you wrote these songs, what were you thinking? Because like Runaway, Smile Now, Cry Later, these are, first of all, at the time, you really think about the music at the time. They're all doo-wops and, happy, da-da-da, and your Smile Now, Cry Later, you're like, oh, it's different from what was going on at the time.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, each song is almost got it's a little story behind it. For example, let me just give you an example with Smile Not Cry Later. I was fresh out of high school in my senior year, and I met this girl. So, we started dating, wound up being my first wife. But she said, I remember clearly in the very beginning, she said, what I've noticed from you being in the music business and all that, is just, I kind of, we were young, she meant well, but it's kind of a weird feeling, she would say, because it's like I only feel mine when we're together, The rest of the time, you belong that are packed to the walls, that you belong to all of them. It's like, I really don't exist. And it's kind of like, she said, out of her mouth, it came out this way. She said, it's kind of like smile now and cry later, she said. So, man, I jotted that. I couldn't write that fast enough, man. I couldn't write that fast enough as a title.
Right.
Song came from. I just started thinking about what she said. A person has a two-sided kind of life, and then the cartoon that exists already of Smile Not Cry Later. It wasn't really tagged. It had something to do with, I think, art or something like that in
Yeah.
another different culture. And then Runaway was another situation, and Golly G and Put Me in Jail, and a lot of those, we have to remember, a lot of those were back in day one for me, and so a lot of those I was
Right.
writing out of the feelings that I thought the teenagers around me were feeling, get into conversations, and they didn't realize they were these songs that I was going to write them down and kept the conversation going. I knew I had something to do all next week.
You're like, no me digas. Really? She said what? She called you a what? A loser? Okay, let me write that down. Hold on just a second. No, say that again. You can write it all down. That's
Yeah.
it's Tejano time. Says, hey,
Now,
shout
now
out from
one more
DFW, the legend, Sonny Ozuna. Go ahead.
one more thing I like to say about all of that. Um, that was the beginning of the time when I first started writing songs. And then, of course, I branched out to Tejano and then wrote like Reina de Mi Amor and a lot of those songs back for Tejano. Now, 69 different productions, whether it be country, gospel, and Christian carols. So I'm always busy writing either one genre or another. The point I was going to make clear to you is that when I realized that the idea of composer, not only was it going to be something that was going to be easy for me, not only the lyrics, but come up with melodies, was that I noticed that every time I had another small fire like Me in Jail or Golly Gee or Talk to Me or Smile Now, it would keep me alive one more year, in the business. So I said,
wow.
well, I guess I'm stuck with this the rest of my life, I thought.
I better keep writing. Of course. A good friend from New Mexico, Elsa Jimenez says, hello, everyone. Sonny Ozuna was my very first interview when I started in the Tejano industry. He made it so easy. Always remember how much of a gentleman he is. There you go. Very much. Gil Cortez says, Sonny, talk to me. I know you got tired of that punchline. You're amazing. Keep up the great work. Gil Cortez from the beautiful Grand Prairie, Texas. There you go. And of course, it's Tejano time from DFW as well. What time is it? It's Tejano time. So no, it's wonderful that we revisit where you've come from. As a Native American, we believe that you have to remember your roots because a tree cannot grow without good roots. You have to know where you come from in order to keep growing, and it's good that you know that. But that you didn't stop there. You keep creating, music, and you've been creating music. You've been performing and everything else. And here we're in anticipation of what's going to happen there in Las Vegas. And I know it's going to be pretty awesome, just because of the anticipation. I know a lot of people have been talking about it. Hey, you're going to be here, and when I told people that you were going to be here, and they were like, "Wait, Sonny?" They was like, "Yes, he's gonna come here. We're gonna talk about this." And I go, "But I like to just I like to revisit some of the stuff because of the fact that there's music that you have put out that didn't get listened to that I think are really awesome songs. But back in the day, these songs." You would put 10 songs out there, but you only released like 2 or 3 because you had to put the album out. And you have so much beautiful music throughout the years that you put out there that didn't get the listen that it should have. And I believe that good music should be heard. Hilda is there to back me up. We here believe that good music should be heard regardless. So looking back at some of your songs that you've written, what are some of the songs that you believe that should have gotten more attention, or should have, you wish, I wish they would have released it as a single and not just put it on the album and just put it out there?
That, to be honest with you, there is just too many. I've written about, the point I was going to make is clarify what you said about only one or two songs getting played out of the whole album or CD or cassette or whatever it was at the time, even the long plays, the LPs. But what happened is that since the record companies like ours and Little Joe's and Freddie's and everybody, they were about as lost as we were trying to figure out what it is that we were going to be doing for the rest of our lives. The companies were doing the same thing. They could see something happening and where they could make a buck, and all they had to do was get them in the studio and record them and try to polish them and all that. But you're not going to get all 12 songs getting played. You'll get some played scattered because not everybody's going to play the same ones. But the point was that you had to pick then either 2 or 3 songs hard on your promotion, knowing that you couldn't do that 12. And you're right, perfectly right. Very few people understand that point, that those were the only 3 songs that truly got played out of that one CD or album or whatever it was. And they have to wait till the next CD or next album or whatever and see what 3 were going to be. Now, the advantage was if you fell in love with some of those songs, like you were mentioning, then it's nice that they have them in their possession to listen to them. They'll probably never hear them on radio.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that I always say. You got to listen to the music, and if we play it in that way, it gives people the opportunity. And I don't care what year it was released, as long as it's a good song, it's a good song, and royalties will still pay. It doesn't matter to me as long as it's still there. And good music is good music, and every song should be given the opportunity to be heard and for people to fall in love with it. And I get a lot of calls from people or text messages. Hey, dude, what's that? Who sings that song? Wait a minute, really? I was like, yeah, dude. It's on the 3rd album. It's just they didn't release it because it's part of that. It's part of the. Just listen to it, and that's the benefit to me. That's one of the things that we lost in today, where when you buy an album, you don't get to hear all of it. That's the thing today. It's selective, but the joy in an album is getting to find the jewels. You find the jewels in the music that's there. It's like, man, this is a really awesome song that they sang, back in the day. And people do fall in love because some certain songs hit so in certain places, and sometimes they don't, and you got to just put it out there. Gigi La Chicana Guerrero says, saludos from Mission, Texas. Hello, Hilda and Indio, and saludos to Mr. Sonny Ozuna. How are you doing?
Hey, Gigi.
And Bobby Castañeda from California says, Sonny, I saw you here in California as a teenager in the 1970s. Your style of music made me strive for excellence as a musician. You were a class act. God bless you. Nice.
Oh, wow.
Stephanie Martinez, saludos from San Antonio. Loving this interview. We are big fans. There you go. Thank you very much, Stephanie. I appreciate you, girlfriend. No, but that's true. That's why I like to get the albums. I encourage everybody. That's how you support music. You go out there and you buy the music. Not just stream it. Buy the album. Buy the single. Buy the album. You support your Tejano artists. You support your favorite artists by going to their shows, buying their album, buying their merch. Put the phone down. I always say, don't stand up there like this, mira. If I get to see Sonny jamming out, going, talk to me. Ooh, I want to be dancing with my chick. Like dancing and everything else, Why are you going to be like this, dude? No, make memories. Make memories. Take those memories home, because I guarantee you, how many times are you going to go back and look at it? You're not. You're not going to look at it. You may share it with some friends or something like that, and that's about it. But you're not going to go back and look at it. The best thing to do is make a memory in your head with your girlfriend, with your buddies or whatever and whatnot. Sing along, man. Grab a beer, grab a shot, sing along, make a memory. That's how you remember it. Don't remember it on your phone. Your phone is a waste of time, because that puts you in a box. Best thing to do, remember, breathe, air, be yourself. Don't put it in the phone. Be yourself. That way you can enjoy it better. And by the way, then you can remember, nobody, Sonny was a bad dude, man. Sonny was bad. Awesome. Let me see. No, it's all here, dude. You got to go to the next show. See, and then you do Sonny a favor, because then they'll go to the next show, right? It's that simple. So I have to play by obligation. This is like obligatory. It's like a law. I get like a $50 fine if I don't do it. I have to play Talk to Me, because, that's like standard. I think the ninjas come after me if I don't play Talk to Me, because you're on here. I'm sure. Let me ask you this. Do you get tired of that song?
No.
Do you get tired of listening to
No, not really. Not really. Since it's a song, early in the business, I realized that somehow, and I'll tell this to anybody who's going to start in the business. Keep this in the back of your mind as you're either being a copy band or sounding like your favorite hero, whatever. There's a time when you have to drop that, because during the time that you're trying to imitate these people, you have to try to find yourself. That's the most important thing, because your little niche and your business, if you want to stay alive, it's going to be when you become yourself and not your hero. So what happens is that little by little, I noticed that the more we dropped all the copy stuff that we had originally started from the radio and wherever we picked it up, and started recording our own music and original songs, is even better. It's even better, because it's a song that's one of a kind.
Oh yeah, most definitely. That's the one thing, and I'm going to revisit that here in a second. But here is the obligatory song that I have to play because Mr. Ozuna is here. Roland Martinez, by the way, says hello, my buddy Sonny, and hello everyone. Thanks so very much.
Hey, Roland.
This is going to be Talk to Me from Sonny and the Sunliners. After it was Sonny and the Sun Glows. We'll talk about Sonny and the Sun Glows after this. That is the legend himself, Sonny Ozuna, the Il de Lamas, and I am Indio right here on Qvo Radio. Take a listen.
Talk to me. Talk to me. I love the things you say. Talk to me. Talk to me. In your own sweet gentle way. Let me hear. Tell me, dear. Tell me you love me so. Talk to me. Talk to me. Tell me why. I want to know. The many ways you speak of love, I've heard before, and it sounds so good every time. Please say the part I love just once more. Your love so glad you're mine. Talk to me. Talk to me. Hold me close, whisper, Lord. Talk to me. Talk to me. Darling, I love you so. The many ways you speak of love, I've heard before, and it sounds so good
to you.
Darling mine,
I love you so. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about right there. That's
Good
like a
times, good times.
orange, man. And it's that's that version right there is from my cassette that I have of the recording, and it has like the LP sound. It's got the vintage sound to it, the album sound to it, vinyl rather. And sometimes vinyl just takes over and it sounds really really good. And it's just different. It's different then than it is now. I tell a lot of people, I remember back in the day, like we were talking before we got on, doing reel to reel and using cartridges for commercials. And it's the evolution of music it's incredible. And people don't realize how it has changed, from back then to today. Back then you had to get it right off the bat. Hilda knows that her husband Rick, with Hacienda Records, and she's been doing it since she was young. I don't want to say
I'm still young.
Well, I mean, I didn't want to give your age or anything else, so
I'm 25.
Okay. And
at least I feel 25, right? On a good day.
I'm a unicorn. I'm a unicorn. Gigi says it reminds me of the original Dinos. Yeah. But it's one of those, it's kind of a throwback. And I don't know why, it's like I always say, we always look back to the past as the good old days, regardless of how hard it was, regardless of how difficult times were. We always look back as the good old days, because there was a lot of stuff that was going on that wasn't good about it, but we're like, it was the good old days. Because I guess we did more with less, and we were just able to accomplish much more. And that was kind of one of those weird things. I don't know.
For me, I think just musically, I miss the organic sound that we don't have today in popular music, because everything is so electronic. Everything is so keyboard driven, the electric keyboard. And for me, I'm a big 50s, 60s girl. Like, I love that music. Like, I can't ever get enough. So for me, it's that organic sound, though. You had to have talent back then to make it in music.
Yeah.
It's not like it is today with the auto tune and all these bells and whistles in the studio. And that's one thing, Sunny, that I really respect about you and your musicianship and everybody that you've worked with over the years, because the talent, it just speaks for itself. Because it's like Indio was saying, is you have to get it right in the studio. And if you didn't, guess what? You had to sit there and do it over and over and over again for everyone to get it right. It's not just one person like it is now. You just go punch in and out and stuff. And so I really do respect that about you. And then, of course, changing all of the genres that you did, it's, to me, that's just so inspiring. And I'm one who likes to hop around to different genres too, because just good music is good music. When you feel it, you feel it. And so thank you for paving the way for all of us and doing it first and just setting the standard, because there really was a high bar set by you, and just thank you for that.
Has that ever really come across your mind? Because like Talk to Me and all these songs, Los Enamorados, these songs that you sang, Think It Over, stuff like that. These songs, people have fallen in love to these songs. People have gotten married to these songs. People have kissed their first kiss to these songs. People have kissed goodbye to their loved ones to these songs. Has that come across your mind at all?
Would you believe that I hear it all the time? If I just had $1 for every time I was told If it wasn't for you, man, I wouldn't have my wife, all my kids, and all that. They all know your music now because I still play all your music to them as they were growing up, and they got memories of everything. Not only your music, but our our life became our life because of the music that you were playing all that time. That brought. Now you have to understand that when we talk about the songs itself, doesn't always necessarily bring bad memories, all the bad memories. Along the way, there was because of some of those songs, they bring back all the good memories too. So yeah, it's good to it, and
Mhm.
it keeps you. I think it keeps you kind of balanced. I think it keeps you kind of balanced because, well, e- every good has to have its bad, and every bad has to have its good. I mean, that
Yeah.
gives you a good balance. And those songs sometimes tend to do this. It's when you listen to something, the first thing that hits you without you realizing, or even thinking about it. Now, would that bring me a good memory or a bad memory? And once you
Yeah.
decide which one it is, okay, well, you'll be there for a little while. And if it's something that really bums you out, you won't stay there too long, but you will stay there for a little bit to think and how you yourself out of it, how you moved on, how you progressed when everybody else. Yeah,
Yeah.
because around you about that time that you were on your low side, telling you weren't going to amount to anything ever, ever. You've always been a loser, man. Blah 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 blah. And we've all heard it all. As Hispanics, we've heard it all. But what happens is that it's good to just hear them once in a while and say, you know what, they were wrong. They were wrong. Look at me, man. I
Yeah.
got my own house. I got my car. I got my family. My kids are all fine. They're coming out of college, and kept me going all this time. They kept
Wow.
me going when they rubbed up on my kids and my wife. I got her. No matter who the artist is, because you can imagine how big our genre is. Huge,
Yeah.
Yeah.
huge. There was a time that every time we played in a different state, people were in awe of what we were doing. They couldn't believe what we were doing. But the next time we went there was about at least 4 or 5 groups that were basically trying to do or a version of what we were doing. And here comes more
Mhm.
groups. And this started to happen almost everywhere, every state we went to play. I think Hano music now is almost everywhere you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's one of the things that was really surprising when I started my station. I did it for the military because I remember, when I was deployed, that was the one thing that brought me home was music, listening to music, and that was our escape. And now we're like 137 countries, and you're like, there's
Mhm.
Tejano lovers in 137 countries. Think about
Mhm.
that. That's a lot of everywhere. Bobby
I
Castañeda
think
was
I
asking a
think I
question.
just made I think I just made my point.
Yes, he did. Bobby
Look where you
Castañeda
are
was
now.
asking, right? He says, "How was it working with Manny and Rudy Guerra?"
Well, what happened is that Rudy Guerra and I were school buddies in high school, and we started our first little group called Sunny and the Sun Globes when we first
Sunglow.
started
Mhm.
out of high school. Manuel Guerra played. He was an older guy, and he was a fantastic drummer. He still is, but he doesn't play anymore. But he was the drummer for a orchestra out of Corpus Christi that was on fire while we were still kids. He was on fire, and he was out on the road and traveling the way we eventually wound up doing years later. The orchestra was called Isidro Lopez Orchestra out of Corpus
Mhm.
Christi, Texas. And Manuel Guerra was his drummer for the longest time. And it was Manuel Guerra who one day talked to Rudy, his brother, and said, "You know what? I'm a little tired of what I've been doing," because there was the Isidro Lopez Orchestra had maybe like 12, 13 musicians. So you can imagine taking whatever it
Yeah.
is you're going to pick up for the night and try to split that up in 12, 13 pieces. So he finally, after a
Yeah.
while, just said, I've done this enough. I've got this
Mhm.
crazy idea. Why don't we sit down and talk with Sonny and you and I, and we start doing, and he was the one that put it in our heads to take whatever little things we were playing, which mostly English,
Mhm.
and start putting Spanish lyrics. Well, like I said, we tried to dodge that as much as we could because we were just catching on to the English language, and that's all we spoke at school. So you're telling me I'm going to go back and learn that everything that I thought I was saying right now, you got to relearn it because you've been saying it wrong all these times for the last 15 years. You were saying it was this, and this, and it's not. If you want to be correct, it's this, and this. So, oh gosh, man, no, let's not do this. But he talked us into it. Now, I'm glad we listened. I'm glad we listened because that's where Tejano music came from, because of that.
Definitely, yeah, no, and it's a good thing too. But it's funny to me because sometimes I say certain things. I learned Spanish in college. I didn't learn it at home. I mean, I'm a Native American, so we didn't speak it, and so I learned it from a book. So when people speak to me in slang, they don't realize that they're speaking in slang, and I'm like, I don't understand what you're saying. And they're like, oh, I thought you know Spanish. And I was like, I do, but you're not speaking Spanish. And they're like, they get offended. And I'm like, I'm sorry. Don't get mad at me. And it's like, this is what my mom said all along. I was like, well, how is your mom an authority, bro? Did your mom write a book? It's just your mom, It's just, sorry, your mom was saying it wrong this whole time, but it's pervasive sometimes. And people don't realize that just because you say it that way doesn't mean that it's correct. It's not. It's incorrect. And so people get the misconception. They get it all wrong. It's, especially the whole fish thing. I had a big thing with fish. I was with a bunch of guys, and I told them that fish in the water is pez. Fish on your plate is pescado. And oh my gosh, it's like I called them a mom, a black midget or something. It was just like it was mutiny on the bounty or something. It was just like, how dare you? And I'm like, it's in the books, guys. Don't get mad at me. I didn't write it, but it's like that. I'm from Mexico. You're saying it wrong anyway. It doesn't matter where you're from, But it's kind of funny that way. But it's interesting that you say that because it's very, very true. It's wonderful that it's that those little sparks, and look at what it came from it. Look at all the beautiful happiness that you were able to spread and create with all of that. It's so wonderful and everything else. Saludos everyone from Alfredo Rios, the lone Mexican. He's just joining us just now. Roland Martinez says, hey, me and Sonny did a big birthday party last year with Mimbelas. Did I say that right? Mimbelas?
I hope so.
Hilda, I'm asking you, girl.
I don't know. I've never heard of that word ever. Or yeah.
Class act, I don't know what that is. Class act entertainer. And so I'm just going to go with that one. But anyway, yeah, that's great. That's wonderful. So, I mean, for you, you've already accomplished so much. You've already done so much. What's next for Sonny? What's next for Mr. Ozuna? What do you want to do? Or what's on your plate? What do you know?
Well, first of all, as we speak, I got a brand new Tejano CD. It came out a couple of weeks ago. It's called La Estrella que Brilla, which means the star that shines. And when me and Freddie Martinez, as a matter of fact, from Freddie Records, we wrote the song called La Estrella que Brilla. It's on the new CD, and it's a beautiful song. You'd have to hear the words because the ideas behind it is just, it's something very interesting, unusual to hear a couple. But and it was called, let me tell you a little bit about it because anyway, La Estrella que Brilla is based on the concept that, when we met, something for you, and I thought you did too, and so we got together and things got out of hand and things happened and all that, and it's okay. I know you got to get back to your friends and all that kind of stuff, and you're probably going to deny it that you even know who I am, because he felt like he was less than she was. It must have been beautiful or something, and he says, but that's all right. He says here because. The end of the song, he says, only thing that you have to remember, no matter how you feel about what happened to us, is that we did share each other. And the only proof that I have that it ever happened is that little star that was there that was watching us that night. La estrella que brilla. That little star is witness of what really happened. So it doesn't matter how you feel about it or whatever. It did happen.
It
So
did happen.
we
I
wrote
love
from that
it.
contract. And I fell in love. I fell in love with the title itself. I thought it was so cool, and it just happened to fit the photograph that we put on the new CD. So we kind of got a little star that kind of shines off on the picture, and it kind of like estrella working out, and it's going real well. It's only been out for a couple of months already.
That's great. And actually, if you do want some of that information and some of that music, you can always go to the one and only. Look at that. Sunny official website right there. You can go ahead and click on that QR code. It's going to take you there. So that way you can go ahead and get all of his merch, get all of the music and everything else. That's how you take care of your artists. That's how you take care of them. You go and buy their music. You get their merch. Go to their shows and support them. That's what we do here. Make sure that you go there and support them for one and only. Because, I mean, it's good music. That's what it's all about, right? Want to get it? And that way you get it on your phone, because if you have it on your playlist, you're going to go like this. Hold on. I got this new song. You're going to like it. Mira, hold on. Man, it's buffering. Hold on. It's buffering again. See? But if you have it on your phone, you bought it, boom, it plays just like that, because it's on your phone. It's yours. See? Don't get a subscription because you're only renting it. You rent it for a little bit. You bought it. It's yours. You get it on your phone. It's yours forever. There you go. Just like that. Simple. I love it. I still have my 8 tracks. Nah, I don't have any 8 tracks, but I have my cassettes. Do you have any 8 tracks, Hilda?
I don't, but I'm sure Rick might have some somewhere in a closet.
Vivian Chavez's La Estrella Viva was a great title. Yes, it is. Yeah, it's a great song.
When those memories come back like that, whenever they come back, you can just go pull your records out and say, you know what, I'm going to play a little bit, and it kind of helps you, with recalling some of the good and the bad.
Well, you know what? I will tell you, that's one of the things. Like when I told you when I would listen to music, when we were overseas and when we were deployed and all this other stuff, you'd be surprised what you remember through sound. Like one time, the valve on the water tank, it busted, and so the water was just falling down. But the way it was falling down, and I was trying to get some rest, but the way it was the water was hitting the dirt, and it was hitting the water. It was just like a little puddle, but to me it sounded like a steak grilling. I hadn't eaten a steak in like 2 years.
Wow.
But it sounded like a steak on the grill. But it was the water, and it was just, I couldn't get it out of my mind, man. And it was crazy. But it sound just makes you, a song can make you remember a smell, can make you remember a taste. It can make you remember a feeling, can make you remember, all these wonderful things. And that's the beauty of music. That's the power. That's the power that you, Hilda, and that you, Sonny, have as vocalists, as people that have music. That's the power that you have with music, is you're able to bring us back, regular people like me, bring us back to a memory, to a thought, to an emotion, to a feeling. It's a very powerful thing, and it's wonderful that you were able to share your gift with us, and I truly appreciate it as a person, as a regular Joe. I'm Lawrence, but as a regular Joe.
Thank you.
Vivian Chavez says, I still have cassettes, Lawrence. There you go. I'm not the only one. Roland says,
You know what? I've actually been on the road and doing my performances for 62 years, and I just turned 80 years old this year, and I'm still feeling like when it's time for me to go do my thing. As we speak, I just got back from Colorado, and I did Pueblo, Colorado, and then I do. Of course, we fly out of Denver, and then just came. We did just a one night stand. I worked with GQ and with Rolls Royce. Did the car wash, and then about maybe 7 or 8 different hip hop rappers. And it was very interesting. Needless to say, it was very interesting, which I probably won't do anymore. But it just wasn't. It just wasn't for me, man. It just wasn't for me. But,
oh, come on. I see you branching out and writing some hip hop.
Yeah. Well, you know, I'm not, I really don't want to kid or anything because I'm sure it's somebody's livelihood like what's mine. But there are so many
no.
different artists. Like, for example, you're talking about Agustin Ramirez, Carlos Guzman, Freddie Martinez, and myself, and we have fun when we get called that, hey man, I couldn't do that. We'll get together and do that. The rest of the time, I'm either doing the other genres or I'm working with my group, which is now called Sonny and the Sunliners out of San Antonio. And with it, whatever it is, whatever genre it is, we're going to play. But it's always the idea that I'm always busy all the time. And when I do have time, well, I come back to my writing and composing and going forward.
Yeah, and that's wonderful that you still have that fire, that burn, that sensation to keep doing it. You know, that inspiration, that never ending well of creativity. That that's wonderful to have. That's a beautiful thing to have as a creator. Roland, I'm trying to say this, bro, and I please don't get mad at me if I mess this up. But I think you said Quinteros and Moody Center Days in Galveston. I don't know what Quinteros is, but
no.
I hope I said that right. Vivian Chavez says, music is amazing for our souls. Of course. Yes. And she says, you go, Sonny, amazing as you are. Our Father God blesses you. Yes, definitely. I think, it's wonderful that you have all this. I have a question for you. This is really an interesting question for you because we go back to your beginning, your history and everything else. This is right out of high school. And, Talk to Me just takes off and everything else. It's something that was just completely not something that you were planning. It was something that obviously you embraced. What did your parents say?
I think I was just blessed with it. I feel in the back of mind that I was being prepped to give a start to Tejano music. Not that I am the guy that started. I'm not saying that, but for some reason he wanted to use me as one of the instruments and also kind of picked to do that. And so, not knowing teenagers, what are you going to do? Teenagers. We became each other like a little rivalry kind of thing. They live up the road from us. They live in Temple, Texas, and we're out of San Antonio. But every time he had when we were young and he had a hit, I wanted mine to be bigger when I put mine out. So I would do something totally different. And then he would make his next one different from anything that we had been doing before. And I'd be blown away. Man, look at this guy. And then I would just do so completely left turn and do something mariachi or something tropical or something, a cha-cha or something. So I wouldn't, because myself, I like the variety. So I want to play a slow song, a fast song, a polka, a cumbia, a bolero, a country. And the people that come see me all the time have been coming back to see me all these years because some dance and some are going back to where they were sitting and this thing goes on back and forth all night long. So that most of the time they don't always stay on the floor all night. They'll just take little breaks, but no, let's not dance it. We'll just go sit down and they'll sit with their friends, talk for a little while, and they'll let's go dance this one. So I like the variety because I don't want to do polkas all night and I don't want to do boleros all night. I don't want to do cumbias all night. I want to do all of it because Hispanics like all the kind of music. So I like the variety,
Definitely. Joe Avila said, I found a 4-5 record of his group last week in Denver. Where's Denver? Don't know where it is. I hope you meant Denver. Maybe it was Denver. I was asking, what did your mom and dad think of your success when Talk to Me became a hit back when you were a kid? What did your mom and dad say?
Well, right before it became a hit, I was already wanting to do something with it, but I come from very old-fashioned moms and dads. Today I can hear them clear as can be. They would say, "Look, no, that's all fine. All this noise is okay, man, and all the music, yeah. That's all cool. You show me a diploma. You show me a high school diploma, and then you can do whatever you want." And so I was. But when I first heard that, it must have been 3 or 4 or 5 months up the road, and to me was already starting to take off. You don't think I straightened up real fast? I was done. I got to tell you my high school story. Coming out of high school, I had a friend that was not giving away to the class one half of a credit. So, and I needed 3 credits to graduate with my class. So I made an appointment to go talk to him, and I said, "Look, I don't know that you're going to understand this, but my name is so and so, and I spend more time in your office than I do in my classroom." I said, "You know what, man? I took the surveys from Cashbox and Billboard, which were the Bibles for the radio stations at the time, for all the top 40 rock and roll English stations. And I said, look, I got these 2 books here. I'm number 19 with a bullet, and over here, look, I've been on this thing going, and I'm climbing on both books. Look, all I want is, if there's any way in your heart you can find to let me graduate with my class, I would really appreciate it. I got a Dick Clark American Bandstand appearance coming up pretty soon, and I sure don't want to miss it." And he just totally freaked out. He laughed about it, and he said, "You know what? I'm going to let you graduate with your class."
Oh my gosh. See, Mom, I graduated.
Here it is, Mom. Here it is, Mom.
It's done. Check mark.
That's great. It's awesome. Joe Avila says that the album that he found at 45 says on one side it says Sunny and the Sun Glows. On the other side it says Sunny and the Sunliners. Wow. Where was that one printed? I don't know if they even did that.
Wow.
That's cool. Yeah, Rick Valderrama is joining. Yeah, hey Rick, how are you doing, brother? Thank you so very much for joining us. Rick is recovering, a good friend of mine, recovering from he donated part of his liver to his brother Richie. And Richie needed a transplant, a liver transplant, and this is a living donor transplant. And I just went to go see him this past weekend, doing very, very good. It's good to see him up and around, walking and everything else, and I'm so glad that he's doing good. And thank you very much for joining us, Rick, man. You're still in my prayers, brother. Yeah, you're not out of the woods yet. Still, take care of yourself. Don't think you're going to be jumping out of planes or anything else. So be safe, and we keep you in our prayers, man. Adam Garcia, saludos. Adam Ace from KLMO, San Antonio. Awesome. Thank you very much, Adam, for joining us, brother. I really do appreciate it. Vivian says, yes, my parents brought me and my brothers up the same way. They were great mom and dad to us. They were as well. My parents signed off on me. I joined the military when I was 17. They said bye. They were just like, wait, you get to leave when you're 17? I was like, yeah. You know what? And I was a section chief of my unit, and it was funny because I was saying this past weekend. They thought I was a really like a tough guy because I mailed a letter to my parents, and it came back returned to sender. And they were like, "Man, that dude is so mean. His parents left when he got joined the military. He moved. They didn't even tell him where they moved to." They were like, "Don't mess with that guy. He's crazy." I was like, "Why'd you move?" They were like, oh, by the way, we're moving. Thanks, Mom. Hello from the Tejano Conjunto Music Hall of Fame in San Benito. Hi, Hilda. Where's Rick? Joe Avila, how are you doing, brother?
Hey, Joe. Thanks
you
for
very much.
tuning in.
Yes.
Speaking of the Texas Conjunto Music Hall of Fame and Museum, Sonny, you should come down and check it out if you haven't. It's a magical place, all filled with musical history.
From a lot of different people. And you know what? I got a chance to just take a small tour, and I was thoroughly impressed. They still have the printing presses, the actual vinyl presses. They still have the original presses there, and the labels, and the way they used to make it back in the 70s and the 60s and 70s. It's wonderful. It's a slice of history to truly appreciate how music was created back in the day, and how we have to understand that all industry takes a lot of people. There's a big farce or a misnomer of "Make America Great Again," and that is a big misnomer. What makes America great is the conglomerate of people coming together to achieve greatness. It is all of us differently. We are not a melting pot. We are a salad. Different colors, distinct flavors, of us coming together to make a great meal. And that's what makes us great, is the fact that we are able to work together for a common goal, and to see the history of what it was in the Conjunto Museum is just amazing. You should go and enjoy it. It is beautiful. And it's so well preserved. And then it was so hot that day.
And then big shout out to the Avilas for keeping it up and having it running. And I believe they have their induction ceremony coming up next month. So for those of you who want to come on out. They have tickets on sale.
Definitely. So Bobby was saying, Sonny, when did Bobby Solis pass away? And he was an awesome drummer.
Gosh, man, that is a good question. It's been a good while. It's been quite a few years. I still miss him a lot. Man, we were real close. He had been with me from the very beginning. First started the actual Sunliner group. There was a point when Rudy and myself actually were running the group that I told you about, Sunny the Sunglow. And then we stayed together for a little bit. He started another group here. He went off with his career. But Bobby had been here all those years. And at the time, he'd been wanting to get off the road. You know, he'd been on the bed. And so he was going to be working.
I think we lost his sound.
That's when we lost him. But I don't exactly remember the year, but it's been quite a few years now.
Yeah, we lost part of that, but Joe Avila says that he had passed away on July 27th.
No, actually what Joe's talking about is the Conjunto Music induction.
Okay.
So Texas Conjunto Music Hall of Fame induction ceremony is going to be on July 27th.
Okay. Well, then thank you for clarifying that for me, Hilda. I appreciate that. Vivian Chavez says, all walks of life. Yes, all walks of life. That's what it takes. All of us together, unified. It's not just one person, but that's what I'm saying. It's a bunch of people together, not just one person, not just one group, all of us. But the going back to the Conjunto Hall of Fame, it's just that there were so many different Hispanic people coming together that made such an impact on music. And they weren't just doing Spanish music; they were doing all kinds of music, and they were like a hub for Texas. And they were such a major hub. It was amazing. It was beautiful. It was wonderful. and they were such a huge impact on the music industry, and they didn't get a lot of credit for it. But that's what I'm saying. That's why you should go and enjoy it and visit it. And I was just impressed by it. It was really impressive. Sonny, we've come to the part of the show where we just give you the opportunity to go ahead and wish, say your thank yous, say your wishes, say your where you're going to be, promote whatever it is that you want to promote. It's just you by yourself, and just whatever it is that you want to say, brother. It's just you by yourself. So to everybody that's listening, it's just you, Sonny. So go ahead and share whatever it is that you want to share, brother. It's just you, Sonny. Can you hear me, Sonny? Uh-oh. I think he lost us. I can hear you, Hilda. Can you hear us, Sonny? Sonny, can you hear us? You can't hear us? No? Okay. Yeah, let me go ahead and play another song for you real quick. This is called Los Enamorados, and let me get him on the phone real quick, and then we'll try to wrap this up, okay? This is Los Enamorados with Ozuna. It goes like this.
Enamorados viven una vida muy feliz, siempre andan pensando de los momentos que conocieron. Los enamorados en el parque los encuentran, se andan paseando y gozando de la vida. Cuando no están juntos es tan triste, pero no se olvida, porque el amor de ellos es tan fuerte y muy puro. Están tristes, pero no se olvidan, porque el amor de ellos es muy fuerte y muy puro. El amor de ellos es tan grande que yo escribo esta canción para platicarle de los enamorados.
Okay. Can you hear us now? Nah, I think he's just gone. I think he's locked out. Guys, I do apologize for that. He's not. He's been frozen for a while. So I will try to get him on just a second. Give me just a second while I try to do this. And I hope I can. With the advancement of technology, you never know. I can do it. So yes, it happens. Beautiful vocals, beautiful horns. This is back in the day, of course. So if I call him, see if I can get him. See, so don't say he's got his number. Yes.
Please leave your message for 2.
Oh, well. Well, guys, I am sorry that I wasn't able to get a hold of him. Yeah, I am trying to get a hold of him, but I know you can hear the phone. That's why I'm trying to call him, so that way at least he can say it on the phone. He can say goodbye on the phone.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Sonny. I'm sorry I lost you.
I lost you completely.
That's okay. Hey, I've got you on the phone. People can hear you on the phone. So
good. Okay.
So, like I was saying earlier, this is it's the end of the show anyway. Let me go ahead and put your picture up real quick, so that way you can tell the fans where you're going to be, where they can find you, and all this other stuff. By the way, real quick, while you were gone, Paulina Ozuna from Maryland, she said hello. She's loving your show so far. Vivian Chavez is still listening. A lot of the fans are still listening right now, and I just wanted to give you an opportunity to say goodbye, real quick.
All right, thank you.
So go ahead, Big Daddy. It's all you.
All right, thank you so much, Lawrence. Once again, thank you so much for having me on your show. And once again, to all the listeners, I'd like to say that if it's possible that you come be with us in Las Vegas and party with us for the 55th anniversary of Freddie Records, July 12, 13, and 14. It's going to be a fun weekend, and it's going to be at the Westgate in Las Vegas. And also any recordings or anything to do with Sonny and the Sunliners, recordings or promotions or whatever, our contact is sonnyozuna@gmail.com. sonnyozuna@gmail.com. And you can get, of course, all the recordings and things that you want to replace, copies of CDs and albums and whatever that you loaned to your cousins and you didn't get them back. So, thank you, Lawrence. I appreciate all your time, man. Thank you.
No, thank you so very much, Sonny. I really do appreciate you. Thank you for coming on, and thank you for everything that you do for us, the fans, as far as giving us your time and for just being a great person all the way around, man. It's truly an honor to have you on our show. You're welcome to come back anytime. And I really do appreciate you. If you could hang on just a little bit so we can take care of some radio business as I go ahead and end up the show here real quick.
Okay.
And for those of y'all that are out there, Gavino Perez, who says there, and he says, que Dios los bendiga para siempre. He says, hello, amigo. And I'll go on answering a call from Buffalo, New York. Says, Paulina, and God blessings to you and each and every one of you. For all of you that were listening, that joined us today, thank you so very much from each and every one of y'all. I really do appreciate you for joining us here, Ilda Lamas and Sonny Ozuna as well. I really do appreciate you. If today was not your day, if you had a bad day today, just remember, every day planes take off against the wind. You matter. You are loved. Be good to each other. Be human to each other, man. I appreciate you guys once and for all. We're going to leave you once again with Talk to Me from Sonny Ozuna and the Sunliners. Y'all guys have a blessed one. We'll see you next time. Hasta luego. We'll see you on Thursday. Have a great one.
Talk to me. Talk to me. All of the things you say. Talk to me. Talk to me. In your own sweet gentle way. Let me hear. Tell me, dear. Tell me you love me so. Talk to me. Talk to me. Tell me why. I want to know. The many ways you speak of love I've heard before, and it sounds so